Welcome to our comprehensive introduction to nature-based solutions, or NBS. This lecture is part of the 88th UNEP UNESCO BMUV International Short Course, focusing on emerging water challenges. Hosted by the Technical University Dresden and the Center for International Postgraduate Studies of Environmental Management, today's session is led by Gregory Futch and Dr. Benjamin Kupillas from the Ecologic Institute. We'll explore how nature-based solutions can address pressing environmental issues, particularly those related to water, biodiversity, and climate change. Let's begin by setting the stage for why these solutions matter and how they fit into the broader context of global sustainability. Today's course is structured to provide both foundational knowledge and practical insights into nature-based solutions. We'll start with the background and context, focusing on biodiversity loss as a key challenge. Next, we'll define NBS, trace the evolution of the concept, and examine relevant policy frameworks at both global and EU levels. Second block will delve into the impacts, benefits, and challenges of NBS, including evaluation methods, best practices, barriers, and opportunities. Throughout, interactive elements and group work will help deepen your understanding. Let's move forward to our warm-up and get ready for an engaging learning experience. Kick things off, we'll start with a warm-up session designed to introduce participants and set the tone for collaborative learning. This is a chance to share backgrounds, expectations, and personal interests in nature-based solutions. By connecting with each other, we create a supportive environment that encourages open discussion and knowledge sharing. Whether you're new to NBS or have prior experience, your perspective is valuable. Let's use this opportunity to build a strong foundation for the rest of the course. Tour to Table is an interactive segment where each participant briefly introduces themselves. This helps foster a sense of community and allows everyone to understand the diverse backgrounds present in the room. Sharing your professional journey, interests, and what you hope to gain from this course can spark meaningful connections. This collaborative spirit is essential as we tackle complex topics like water management and biodiversity together. Let's take a moment to listen and learn from each other's experiences. Now let's dive into the background and context of nature-based solutions. As Inger Anderson, Executive Director of the United Nations Environment Program, aptly puts it, conserving nature and adapting to climate change are two sides of the same coin. This perspective underscores the interconnectedness of environmental conservation and climate adaptation. By understanding this relationship, we can better appreciate the role of NBS in addressing global challenges. Let's explore the current state of biodiversity and why urgent action is needed. Biodiversity is under unprecedented threat worldwide. According to the IPBES and IPCC, the loss of species and habitats is accelerating, driven by human activities and climate change. This decline not only affects wildlife but also undermines the ecosystems that support human well-being. The urgency to reverse these trends has never been greater. By recognizing the scale of the problem, we can better understand the necessity for innovative solutions like NBS. Let's examine the situation in more detail, starting with Europe. State of Nature in the EU report from 2020 paints a concerning picture. Europe's nature is experiencing a serious and continuing decline. Many habitats and species are in poor condition, and the pressures driving this decline are persistent. This situation calls for urgent and coordinated action at both national and European levels. Understanding these trends is crucial for designing effective nature-based solutions that can halt and reverse biodiversity loss. Let's look at the specific trends and conservation status of habitats across the EU. Across the EU, the conservation status of habitats varies widely. Many habitat groups are not in good condition, and trends indicate ongoing deterioration. These assessments, based on data from member states, highlight the need for targeted interventions. By understanding which habitats are most at risk, policymakers and practitioners can prioritize actions that deliver the greatest benefits. This data-driven approach is essential for effective conservation and restoration effort. Let's explore the main drivers behind these losses. Trends in conservation status reveal that many habitats are not only in poor condition, but are also continuing to decline. The number of assessments conducted across the EU provides a comprehensive overview of the situation, allowing for targeted policy responses. These trends underscore the importance of monitoring and adaptive management in conservation. By staying informed, we can adjust strategies to maximize positive outcomes for both nature and people. Understanding the drivers of biodiversity loss is key to developing effective solutions. In the EU, major pressures include land use change, pollution, overexploitation of resources, invasive species, and climate change. These factors interact in complex ways, often amplifying each other's impacts. By identifying and addressing these drivers, we can design interventions that tackle the root causes of biodiversity decline, rather than just treating the symptom. Main pressures on biodiversity in the EU are well documented. Agricultural expansion, urban development, pollution, and unsustainable resource use are among the leading causes. These pressures not only degrade habitats but also reduce the resilience of ecosystems to climate change. Addressing these challenges requires a holistic approach that integrates conservation, sustainable development, and community engagement. Visual representations help us better understand the scope and scale of pressures on biodiversity. Charts and infographics can reveal patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. By analyzing these visuals, we can identify priority areas for intervention and track progress over time. Effective communication of data is essential for mobilizing support and driving action at all levels. Salt marshes provide a powerful example of both the value and vulnerability of natural ecosystems. Globally, 50% of salt marshes have been degraded or lost due to human activities. Yet these habitats offer vital services: coastal protection, water purification, carbon sequestration, raw materials, food, and support for fisheries. They also serve as biodiverse habitats and offer opportunities for tourism, recreation, education, and research. Protecting and restoring salt marshes is a clear example of a nature-based solution with multiple benefits. Salt marshes are more than just scenic landscapes. They provide a range of ecosystem services that are essential for both people and wildlife. These include buffering coastlines from storms, filtering pollutants from water, capturing and storing carbon, and supporting fisheries. Additionally, salt marshes are valuable for recreation, tourism, and education. Their loss represents not just an environmental issue, but a social and economic one as well. Biosphere provides the fundamental life support systems upon which all prosperity and development ultimately rest. Healthy ecosystems regulate climate, purify air and water, cycle nutrients, and support food production. When we degrade these systems, we undermine the very foundation of our societies. Recognizing the value of the biosphere is central to the philosophy of nature-based solution. Freshwater systems are often described as sentinels for truly transformative change. Water flows through all sectors of society, making it an integrative element that connects land and sea. Aquatic systems act as sinks, absorbing the impacts of activities on land. By monitoring the health of freshwater ecosystems, we gain valuable insights into the broader state of the environment and the effectiveness of our intervention. Freshwater ecosystems are not only ecologically important but also economically valuable. They provide water for drinking, agriculture, industry, and recreation. The economic costs of degrading these systems can be immense, far outweighing the short-term benefits of unsustainable practices. Investing in the protection and restoration of freshwater habitats is both a smart economic and environmental strategy. One of the key insights from freshwater science is the need to connect land and sea within river catchments. Activities on land, such as agriculture and urban development, have direct impacts on aquatic systems and, ultimately, on coastal and marine environments. By managing these connections holistically, we can achieve better outcomes for both people and nature. Loss of free-flowing rivers is a significant concern worldwide. Dams, diversions, and other infrastructure have fragmented many river systems, disrupting natural processes and reducing biodiversity. Restoring connectivity in river catchments is a key nature-based solution that can enhance ecosystem health, support fisheries, and improve water quality. Freshwater biodiversity is experiencing the steepest decline of any ecosystem type. Species that depend on rivers, lakes, and wetlands are disappearing at alarming rates. This decline is driven by habitat loss, pollution, overexploitation, and invasive species. Protecting freshwater biodiversity is essential for maintaining ecosystem services and building resilience to climate change. It's important to remember that water doesn't come from a tap, it comes from nature. Healthy freshwater ecosystems are the foundation of water security, food security, and biodiversity. They also provide the best buffer and insurance against intensifying climate impacts. Revering the loss of freshwater ecosystems is essential for a resilient, nature-positive, and sustainable future for all. For those interested in exploring these topics further, there are many excellent resources available. Reports, scientific articles, and case studies provide deeper insights into the challenges and opportunities associated with nature-based solutions. Staying informed is key to making a positive impact in your own work and community. Let's now develop a common understanding of nature-based solutions. NBS are inspired by, supported by, or copied from nature. They focus on maintaining and enhancing natural capital as the foundation for addressing societal challenges. NBS can be cost-effective, resource and energy efficient, and resilient to change. They also contribute to green growth, future-proofing society, fostering well-being, and providing business opportunities. Nature-based solutions are defined as actions to protect, conserve, restore, sustainably use, and manage natural or modified terrestrial, freshwater, coastal, and marine ecosystems. These actions address social, economic, and environmental challenges effectively and adaptively, while simultaneously providing human well-being, ecosystem services, resilience, and biodiversity benefits. This definition is widely recognized, including by the UNEA, IUCN, IPCC, and IPBES. In practice, NBS can take many forms. They might involve restoring wetlands, planting trees along riverbanks, or creating green infrastructure in cities. The key is that these actions are inspired by natural processes and aim to deliver multiple benefits for people and the planet. By working with nature rather than against it, we can create solutions that are sustainable and adaptable. Examples of nature-based solutions are all around us. Restoring forests, protecting wetlands, and creating urban green spaces are just a few. These projects not only enhance biodiversity but also provide recreational opportunities, improve air and water quality, and help communities adapt to climate change. The diversity of NBS reflects the many ways that nature supports human well-being. Water management is a key area where NBS can make a significant impact. By restoring natural features along rivers such as wetlands and floodplains, we can reduce the risk of flooding, improve water quality, and support biodiversity. These solutions are often more cost-effective and sustainable than traditional engineering approaches. In urban areas, nature-based solutions can help address challenges like heat waves, air pollution, and stormwater management. Green roofs, urban forests, and permeable surfaces are just a few examples. These interventions not only improve environmental quality but also enhance the livability and resilience of cities. Coastal areas are particularly vulnerable to climate change impacts like sea level rise and storms. Nature-based solutions such as restoring mangroves, dunes, and salt marshes can provide effective protection while supporting biodiversity and local livelihoods. These approaches are often more adaptable and less expensive than hard infrastructure. Agriculture can benefit greatly from nature-based solutions. Practices like agroforestry, cover cropping, and restoring riparian buffers help maintain soil health, conserve water, and enhance biodiversity. These approaches can increase resilience to climate change and improve long-term productivity. Nature-based solutions serve as an umbrella concept, encompassing a wide range of approaches that work with nature to address societal challenges. This includes ecosystem-based adaptation, green infrastructure, and ecological restoration. By integrating these approaches, we can create synergies and maximize benefits for both people and the planet. The concept of nature-based solutions has evolved over time, drawing on insights from ecology, engineering, and social sciences. Early approaches focused on conservation and restoration, but the scope has since expanded to include sustainable development, climate adaptation, and disaster risk reduction. This evolution reflects a growing recognition of the value of working with nature. Timeline of key publications highlights the growing interest and research in nature-based solutions. From early studies on ecosystem services to recent policy frameworks, the literature reflects a broadening and deepening understanding of how NBS can address complex challenges. This body of knowledge provides a strong foundation for action. Nature-based solutions are powerful tools for adapting to climate change. By mimicking or restoring natural features along rivers, for example, we can reduce the risk of heavy rainfall and flooding. At the same time, these interventions help safeguard biodiversity and provide co-benefits for communities. NBS offer a win-win approach to some of our most pressing challenges. Protecting and restoring ecosystems is essential for safeguarding biodiversity. Nature-based solutions help maintain habitat connectivity, support species populations, and enhance ecosystem resilience. These actions are among the most effective ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote adaptation to climate change. Ecosystems that act as carbon sinks, such as forests and wetlands, are among the cheapest, safest, and easiest solutions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. By conserving and restoring these systems, we can make significant progress toward climate goals while also delivering a host of other benefits. Global policy frameworks increasingly recognize the importance of nature-based solutions. Agreements like the Paris Agreement and the Convention on Biological Diversity highlight the need to integrate NBS into climate and biodiversity strategies. These frameworks provide guidance and support for countries and organizations seeking to implement NBS at scale. The European Union has been a leader in promoting nature-based solutions. Policies such as the EU Biodiversity Strategy and the Green Deal emphasize the role of NBS in achieving environmental and climate objectives. These policies set ambitious targets for restoration, conservation, and sustainable use of natural resources. Evaluating the effectiveness of nature-based solutions is essential for ensuring that they deliver intended benefits. This involves monitoring outcomes, assessing cost-effectiveness, and adapting strategies as needed. Robust evaluation helps build the evidence base for NBS and supports continuous improvement. Learning from best practices is key to scaling up nature-based solutions. Successful projects often involve strong partnerships, community engagement, and adaptive management. Sharing lessons learned helps others avoid common pitfalls and replicate what works in different contexts. Despite their many benefits, nature-based solutions face several barriers. These include lack of funding, limited technical capacity, regulatory hurdles, and insufficient awareness. Overcoming these barriers requires coordinated action by governments, businesses, and civil society. At the same time, there are many opportunities to expand the use of nature-based solutions. Growing public interest, advances in science and technology, and supportive policies are creating a favorable environment for NBS. By seizing these opportunities, we can accelerate progress toward a more sustainable future. Let's take a closer look at how nature-based solutions are applied in different contexts. From urban planning to watershed management, NBS can be tailored to local needs and conditions. Case studies and real-world examples provide valuable insights into what works and why. Throughout the course, interactive elements and group work encourage participants to apply what they've learned. Working together, you'll analyze challenges, design solutions, and share feedback. This collaborative approach helps reinforce key concepts and builds practical skills. As we reach the end of this introduction to nature-based solutions, let's reflect on the key messages. NBS offer powerful tools for addressing water challenges, biodiversity loss, and climate change. By working with nature, we can create resilient, sustainable, and inclusive solutions. Thank you for joining this journey. Let's continue to learn, collaborate, and take action for a better future.